Welcome to The Next Man Up, where we explore the misconceptions and paradox around modern masculinity. Join me on my quest to seek the truth through unfiltered conversations with the men behind the masks, so women can better understand men and men can better understand themselves.
Carl Jung said we all carry the unlived life of our parents, right?
Yeah.
I've got my parents' baggage who clearly have their parents' baggage, who both of their parents were really messed up in their own ways. You put them in a meadow and watch. Just let them go figure things out themselves. Now, if they fall down or they get into trouble, you go back, walk yourself out into the meadow, you pick them up, set them there, and then you go back and you just watch. And then they figure it out. However they figure out, because the way everybody interacts with nature and their environment and the world and their perception of things and their emotion of things is very unique to them. Hi. Are you putting on your interview face?
Wow, this is wild. I'm not putting on my interview face.
Look at it. I can see it.
This is my face, Dad.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Let's just laugh. Actually, if you want to get me to cry, I could cry laughing.
Cry laughing? Yeah. That's probably the most likely outcome.
That's the one. Oh my God. Okay. Too funny.
I want you to actually start by introducing yourself. I want to see what you come up with. Who are you?
Yo, one of those.
Yeah. I
am sitting here in front of you. As far as you're concerned, I'm your father.
Uh-huh.
I'm your father.
Oh God.
My name is Neil, and I have the same last name, Osborne. No you, no relation. I mean, we're related.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's confusing.
But people always ask about Ozzy.
Yeah.
And I'm a musician. I sing in a Canadian band called 5440. Excellent music. I have a book called something. I can't remember.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I'll get to that.
That's it. So I guess I'm your parental figure and you're my spawn.
Right. So
that's why I'm here. I'm assuming.
Yeah, we're experimenting here.
Yes.
Because you know me the most. I think. Would you say you know me the most?
So you measure most by time?
You know me the longest, but like we're pretty close too. Right?
Yep. Your mother, it comes in there too, right?
What do you mean?
As the most.
Yeah, but mom,
Edit.
Mom doesn't like. She doesn't have the same humor, I guess, or like the same. We don't hang. She doesn't. Not in the studio with us.
She doesn't laugh at your jokes.
She doesn't laugh at my jokes
as much as I
nor
do.
Yours.
Nor yours, and that as well. Yeah. So we have that in common.
Yeah.
Similar senses of humors.
And I'm convinced that's because ever since listening to this reincarnation podcast a couple months ago, that you're actually my younger brother from another life.
Right.
What do you make of that?
The reincarnation?
That and you being my younger brother.
I like being your younger brother. I can easily assume that role. That's fine.
Do you believe it?
No.
Really energetically, you feel like my dad?
No.
So what is it? Pal?
Your pal, yeah. It's so funny because, it's like, you probably know this more than me, but different philosophies of parenting over the years and generations. It's like, oh, you should do this and do that. And it was like, for a while there, it was like, don't be friends with your kids because they won't learn, whatever, respect or blah, 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 blah. And then now it's like, be friends with your kids.
But did you ever listen to any of that?
No, it just came natural to me.
But the not be friends with your kids part, did you listen? Did you try to do that?
No, God, no.
Yeah. Yeah. To bring it back to the you being my brother thing, that was kind of just affirmed in we did drugs together last week. Together but apart. We did
That's
psychedelics, right?
Right.
I did MDMA and psilocybin and 5-MeO-DMT.
Of course you did.
The only trifecta.
And
the only one
none
that
of
did
those
all
for the
three.
first time either.
None of it all the first time. And you did just the 5-MeO-DMT.
Correct.
What was that like for you?
Fantastic.
What happened?
So it's so funny because I listened to about, 20 podcasts of people doing DMT and their experience, just to get a sense of it. It's an unknown, right? Like, what's it like going on a roller coaster? What's it like jumping into water or whatever? Having never done something like that before. And, they always go, it's kind of ineffable and anything. Until you do it, you don't know. For me, it was very somatic, very body.
Why did you want to do it in the first place?
I don't know. I just felt like I'm at a point in my life where a little jump start's a good idea of some kind or other, a little, kick in the brain.
I feel like you need to go a little deeper on that one. Like,
Okay.
What were your intentions? Like, what was, because I called you and then I called mom, or I forget in which order I did that. And both of you were like basically in right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sent you the pre-work and the integration work where you had to outline your questions for the medicine and your intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And you put a lot of work into it. So I want to like go there for a minute. Like, what was calling you to do that deeper?
Right. So I guess it's so funny because they say that the medicine gives you what you need or delivers what you require as opposed to what you think you want and as opposed to any expectations. And they say go with intentions, not expectations. But sometimes intentions are expectations.
Explain.
Right?
What were your...
Well, for instance, I thought, well, like you indicated earlier, I don't really cry, at least on a sad or emotional or grief.
Like you indicated earlier, just in movies with Johnny Depp. It's off camera.
Just Johnny Depp.
Yeah, in the
Tom
on
Cruise
planes,
once in a while.
On planes, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then both my parents at their funerals
Didn't cry.
It was just an ingrained thing, I think, in our family. So you bury emotions, right? Especially grief or sadness or being out of control. So I went with the intention of, look at, maybe I need to cry. Maybe that's some energy that needs to come out, or it's bottled up, or grief, all these kind of things. So I thought maybe that's what would happen, but it's not what happened at all.
Tell us what happened then.
So what happened, it was really weird. So those of you who don't know about how to do DMT, or you have a facilitator, and we had a facilitator, Rick Anstrom, who was fantastic. And it was just him and I, and then he had me inhale from a vape pen. And he said, if you're still here, let me know. So I took 6-second draw, and then I'm lying down on the mattress on the floor. And then I said, I think I'm still here, but I kind of all feeling weird. And then he brings me back up and has me do another draw for 10 seconds. And then I saw all these red and white, or red and blue. No, what the fuck did I see? Red and green lights.
Christmas.
Red and green lights. Yeah. Like light bright, but only smaller. And then I was just, I don't know what happened. It was like, whoa. Next thing I know, I'm flopping around like a fish out of water on the floor. Like just out of, and it was so weird because I was doing all this stuff like that, completely not freaking out, not panicking, no fear at all. I just had no idea what was happening, but I was sort of conscious. I was aware I was doing this, and Rick was great because he was worried that I might bang my head or do something stupid. So he kept putting pillows and trying to block me, and it was like he was wrestling this weird alligator lizard being, and that's what I was. So then I talked to you afterwards, and we thought maybe what that was stored or bottled up energy getting released, right? It was intense.
Yeah.
I'd never felt anything like it.
But you weren't afraid of
Not
it.
at all, but it was just this intense energy. So then I sat with that for the whole day. And then the next day you were going in for your DMT thing. And as I dropped you off, I said, my body's telling me I got to do this again, or I didn't get it all out or deal with it all. I'm not sure what my mind is saying. My mind's saying, dude, are you sure? And then he said, I think that's probably a good idea. And then by the time you were done, he said, you want to do it? And I said, yeah. So the second day in a row I went, took not a 6-second, not a 10-second, but an 8-second draw.
Yeah.
And then woof. And then I'm lying there and I could feel that energy. And I thought my intention was very, very narrow and specific, was just to get that energy out, right? Just to go, bleh.
Yeah,
whatever it is, expel it. Yeah. Because that's what I was telling myself that it was. And it was really interesting because as I was about to do that, and I could feel it coming on, and it's so funny because Rick around the mattress had all these pillows because he was ready for me this time, so I wasn't going to hurt myself. He was ready. And some voice or something said, no, dude, contain it, hold it.
Right.
This is meant for you. And I went, oh. Okay. So there I am, just got a blindfold on or a mask, I'm just holding this intense energy. And it's like, oh, okay. I see, I get it now. And then every once in a while I'd have this negative thought and have this urge to go, "Mwah," whatever it was, something I embarrassed
Undulating is,
embarrassed myself of the
Yeah.
past or thinking about situations.
Were you thinking about things?
Negative thoughts would pop in and then it would make me want to go, "Ugh." And then more this energy, and it's like I couldn't sense anything, not anything but pure energy.
Mhm.
And then even the negative thoughts, there was a voice that sort of said, those are good too. And then this word beauty kept coming in. It's all beautiful. It's all part of every, and then
And my face was right there.
So all the, the hippie stuff, the
Yeah.
woo woo roo roo or whatever.
Roo-roo. You call it roo-roo. Yeah.
All the roo roo stuff. It's my new brand, Roo Roo.
Roo Roo.
Yeah, me and Gwyneth are going to put out something for men, Roo Roo for men. And then it was like I could feel the energy everywhere. Like it was insane. It was not only was I containing it, so that was all great, and including all negative thoughts, but then it became beyond my body, and I could feel that I was just a conduit of the energy coming right through me and everywhere. And I was like, I kept going. I had this grin that I could not get off. And I kept going, this is nuts. This is amazing. This is crazy. And that's kind of it.
So, and what was your big takeaway? You said this piece about the ego. What was that?
Oh, right. So, it's like you're supposed to have this quote, ego death or whatever. And I'm sitting there feeling this energy, and I've dealt with any negative thoughts, but I go, wait a minute, I can still reflect and think, aren't I supposed to have an ego death here? And then that same voice about your soul or Atman or true self also said, no, I need you. You need to see this. You need to understand what this is so you can continue with your life.
Right.
I don't want you to disappear.
Right.
I want you to understand this energy, this universal thing. And I was like, thanks.
Yeah. So you came back with a big grin on your face and was like, guess I don't need to fix anything.
Oh, for half a second, I was like, I'm a god. I'm a god. This is so cool. I'm a god. And then that other voice said, yeah, you're not a god. Be careful.
Well, and to mom, you were a boy. You were a little boy. And to me, you were my brother. So it was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. All of it's just a happy little kid, which is
which
an
is
awesome
great, which
state
is
to
on
be
brand.
in. Yeah.
I know. Well, I guess you and I had a similar experience because when I did it for the first time in October.
That's right.
With Rick, I was like, Rick said, 95% of people that do it just smoke it and then they nod off and, they have their own insular
vision quest.
Yeah, ego death experience, but it's like, and he's like, occasionally I've been punched in the face once and like someone will take their clothes off and run out to the lawn or, or people will start speaking, but he's like, it's very rare. And I'm like, well, Rick works with Navy SEALs, with veterans. So I'm like, I'm fine. Like, I'm going to just. And in my experience, because I haven't talked about this before, but I went in and I felt this like strap on my chest. And it felt like I was going down fully like a sensory roller coaster, and I saw the infinite universe, and then I felt this strap on my chest and I couldn't break through, and I knew it was safe to, and I was like, there's nothing to fear, but I cannot. Like my body was just so programmed to live in control. This is in October.
I know, but this was, you said you saw, but this was energy based, right? Or did you actually see something?
I saw like universe, like stars and whatever, but it was like, it felt like there was an actual strap on my chest and I could not break free from it. So I came back, and that's when Candace was like, and I was like, oh, I need to go back in. I need to go back in. I came so close to breaking through, but I could not break through, and I need to go back in. And then Candace said that I was sticking my hands down my pants. Sorry, but we're going to have to.
Apropos.
And I'm like, that makes so much sense because my body was like, I'm in control, and my body was doing things that my mind wouldn't allow me to do. And so I was like, that's crazy. And then they were like, are you like embarrassed? I'm like, no, like not at all. I'm like, throw me back in, coach. And the second time I go in, and I felt like me fighting that again. And again, like my soul felt safe, but my body could not break. It was like, and I heard this male voice just from like beneath me saying, fall. And I was like, no, it's like typical, like, don't trust
a male
men.
Voice. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Because it's like, I'm Miss Independent, I'm in control. Like, no. And the voice was like, fall. And it felt like this energetic smirk almost. And then I just let go, and like it's this feeling that I had and the sound that I made. It was like 36 years of like repressed energy just completely like let go. And I came back to, and I guess my body had the same experience. And then everyone in the room was like, you need to have more stuff there. It's like, there's more there.
I see.
Yeah.
And that's why you did it again with us at the Christmas or New Year's.
In the integration, what came up was like, because, over the past year, especially, but a couple of years, like my life has changed a lot, and I've got a lot of insight in things. And like, I just feel like this new level of I guess, self-awareness. And I feel very good and aligned with who I am, but I still have things in my body that just like freeze. Like it's just.
So you work on that, like meditation or something?
Yeah,
like
Dad, what do you think I'm spending tens of thousands of dollars on all the time, all these retreats and workshops and everything?
What do I think? Never mind.
What do you try? You can say it. Bring it to the room. What?
Korea.
Oh, that I just got.
That's the meditating.
I just got some work done. I turned 37. Thanks for telling everybody.
You just told everybody. I never said a word.
Well, you wanted to fuse it in. That's okay. I'm going to embarrass you too.
Hey, everybody. How old am I?
I don't. What are you, 65? You putting your glasses on? You're going to look a hell of a lot older.
Yeah,
you do that.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, like I said, working from outside in, inside out.
Yeah.
So we're optimizing. I'm very self-confident. But
tell me about the second time then.
Okay, well, no, I want to tell you about what came to me was that I was like in integration, because like when that happened, like you said, it's this ineffable experience. And I didn't really know what it was. And then it started to come to me in pieces, like in the days that followed. And I got this piece of like, you need to bring this to your family. Like
thanks for that, by the way.
Because we've always been a very emotionally close family, but we're stuck in a lot of our patterns. And and my thing, as you now know, because you've listened to every one of my podcasts, which was news to me, was that
yes,
I did sex work.
Okay.
I was waiting to get you. Don't worry, we're not going to go into details.
Is it like?
But I'm like, I don't want to tell you. Don't worry.
Is it a fallback just in case this podcasting thing doesn't work out?
No.
Good.
No.
I mean, no. Whatever. Not good. Not bad.
No. Yeah, you shouldn't say that, but because that's shaming. That's a shaming statement. But I was like, how can I possibly be, I'm kind of full of shit, because unless I can like say to my parents like, hey, I did this and I'm not afraid and it's not a thing. And like, because I had a feeling you both knew, but we never talked about it. And I'm like, how can I ever let anyone else in? And like, if I can't even look at my own family, and I've been avoiding going home and just like.
Yeah, no, you don't want that. But at the same time, nobody has to know everything about your personal life.
Well, I didn't tell you everything.
Even though they do, apparently. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with like, my business is my business.
I'm not getting into details again, but it was like, I just lived in fear, know? I lived in fear of like.
No, that's not, you don't want to be in fear.
Yeah. So I was like, and it was that, and then it was just the generational stuff in, both of our families, namely Mom's. And I could tell, because Mom would always send me articles about psychedelics and everything. I was like, she wants to be invited into this. And there's something that like, we just want to release and like bond together here.
Yes.
So that's when I.
Very valuable.
Yeah.
That experience in all cases.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Even your sister.
Yeah. And then so the second time we just did it, I did the MDMA and the psilocybin first, but I had this vision of you as a like teenage dad and holding a baby me. And I was like, no, give her back to me. It's okay. I've got it. I've got her, which is basically a metaphor for my childhood.
Oh.
What do you think when I say that? Is that a provocative statement?
So explain that to me, please.
Well, I've never doubted that you and Mom loved me ever for a second. That's never been a doubt. But you were very like laissez-faire, Like
Still am.
You still are, more so.
Yes.
More so. But like,
it's working.
Yeah, working, winning, working.
Winning.
But like I tried to bring my father wound to you a couple of years ago. Remember that? I sent you a document. Didn't read it. But I mean, we all have our shit. Again, it's a benign, you take benign attachment shit in your formative years and you give it meaning, it doesn't mean you come from capital T trauma. It's just how you interpret it. So you were
That's
away.
exactly right.
You were away when I was...
You were interpreting things a specific way.
Yeah, you were away when I was a baby, and like
Partly.
on the road. And then you go away, it would be inconsistent too. So a few weeks there at a time.
Yeah.
And then so it was like uncomfortable to reintegrate. And then what did I do with that distance? That's how I equated love from a man, right? It's like that like distance, longing, yearning, a full presence was like, too much.
Right.
And then also, just when you would come back, it was like peak experiences and all this fun. And then it's like, you'd go and it would drop again. So like the consistency like was never so much there, right? Doesn't mean you're a bad dad. It was just different.
Right. But you're comparing it to something that doesn't even really exist.
What did I compare it to?
Well, the father that's home and available every day. That's not necessarily.
Are you getting defensive?
No, I'm just saying that. You think back to the Vikings; they'd go off to war for months at a time.
For sure. Like, but this is all attachment.
You're my kid. I don't even recognize you.
This is okay. I'm going to give you another one. I'm going to keep pushing. Another thing is they say that, your siblings meet different parents, which I totally believe.
Yeah.
Like Candle is a completely different person than I am.
Right. As I am from my siblings.
Very, very. But like, I remember like when I was like, I think, 13 or something, and Candle came home from like playing at a boy's house, God knows. And and you were like asking her questions, like kind of interrogating her and asking about this boy. And then I was like, what about me? And then you're like, oh, I'm never worried about you. And then so I was like, I started to identify with being the one that no one had to worry about. I was like, okay, I'm going to be this strong one that no one has to worry about.
Wow.
Right. So it's these really small, like insidious things. It's not this one big fractured event. It's just like, and it's just your childlike brain that interprets it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
But what I love about our relationship is how, like, you literally don't judge, clearly.
No. Well, no.
What?
I don't think I judge. Yeah, I judge sometimes, but I don't pass sentence. I qualify that.
Explain that.
So I could say, somebody, whatever, cuts me off. It's like, well, he's an asshole, but I'm not going to say anything to him or whatever. I'm not going to, or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pass sentence.
Yeah. But that's kind of, I guess, also counter to what a lot of these like traditional father, like hyper vigilant, like do not come to the door and my daughter and blah, blah, blah. You were not that dad. Like, so what kind of dad were you?
I never thought of myself as
a dad.
Just a person, aren't I?
Just a person, have daughters.
Just whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, my dad, and I could get this wrong. He was great in a lot of ways, very stoic, and opposite of you in the sense that his was none of your business would be his answer in a good way. We'd have. It's
not for you.
My mom was very animated, for instance, politically in the Canadian politics. Let's just say, and and it's very left wing. Mm-hmm. And then I'd say to my dad, well, what do you think? He goes, well, that's everybody's personal. When you vote, you vote privately and you vote what you think then, right? Those different times, clearly. Mm-hmm. So, but he would come home and he was a chain smoker and have his rum and Coke, corporate guy, just like you'd see in the movies about the 50s and 60s. And didn't share a lot with anybody. Even when he was going through his final days in cancer, didn't really want to talk about it.
Really?
Not at all. So I don't know if that's good or whatever, but I think he had a clear persona of being a father, and you don't show vulnerability. You just don't show it, I guess. Or you don't, he told me he loved me a few times.
Yeah.
I remember that, but showing, other than maybe taking me to sports and doing certain things, I don't know. Hard to know. But I wasn't like you over analytical about everything.
But now you kind of are. You got into Jungian psychology and analysis.
Yes.
What started that?
Always been curious. I don't know how it started, to tell you the truth.
Your weird ass dreams?
Yeah, no, I got into it years and years ago for some reason. We did a record called Fight for Love, which was based on some Jungian writing that I'd come across. And then I got really into that dude. Like, this dude's interesting, sort of a contemporary of Freud's or a student of Freud's that took things beyond and to more trippy and dream analysis and shadows and all this stuff. And I was like, wow. And I always had it lingering. And then I got into the author James Hollis, and I've read every one of his books. And he explains things very well. And there's that classic of his, Finding Meaning in the Second Half of Life, which you're about due to read.
Pal, wind it back.
Might be a chapter or two that you could get a leg on. And then I sort of hit a couple more walls. And the thing is, as you go through life, and maybe at different stages, probably happened to you, I think, from chats before, it's like you hit these walls and you don't know why. Why are things not working? Why do I feel bummed out? And according to a lot of that psychology, it's you have these defenses that you carry, these fences that you hide behind that work for you for quite a while. You know, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to do this, and I do this, and you don't even maybe are aware of that you're doing it. But then what happens is the shadow kind of emerges, and it's got to get out somehow. So maybe it gets out some weird behaviors, addictive behavior, sex, for instance, other kinds of things. And that means you're not integrated. The first term I heard the term integration was through Carl Jung, right? So dreams is another one, you know. And the thing is, even with the DMT and the dreams, unless you put intention or meaning to it, it doesn't mean anything.
Totally.
You can do DMT and just be, wow, that was a really freaky, wild trip, and it did something to my brain. But I'm here now, and that's also true. But and I can't explain this as well as I've read it. But other people's perspectives, your own perspective of your life and reality, is very unique to you. In other words, you could be religious, you could believe in a God or whatever, or you could believe in all kinds of things or subscribe to all kinds of things. And those are just interpretations, right? It's unique. It's a perspective. And it's all about the triangulation. So maybe you take your faith, you take your situation, and you take who you think you are, and you try to see if it works and move along that way. Anyways, the Jungian thing, it's just something that I thought was worth exploring, and then I went into analysis, which is a little different.
What was that? Describe analysis.
So my take on analysis versus therapy is your partners. It's almost like another voice. You have the devil and the angel on the shoulders saying different things to you, like, Coral, this is
like
good.
Me and Candle. Which one is
whatever. Yeah. So, one of the things that you can do with a Jungian analysis with the analyst is present dreams.
An analyst?
Yeah. What was what's that show? Yeah, combination of an analyst, who's it? And a therapist. Anyway, it's one of those shows you liked. I can't remember.
Curb or something?
No, before that. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So he presents some dreams, and then he might go, well, that's interesting. And you dreamt about this desert. Like, I see that, but what do you see? And then you develop a relationship. Maybe it's like what you do with some of your clients, but and then you trade ideas of what it could mean. But he's more interested in how you want to do it. But he's always saying, it says this to me, because he's involved too, or she, depending on who your analyst is. And you go a bit on this psychic journey together. And the other thing they do a lot of is called active imagination. So maybe you take the elements of that dream and then you write down, well, where would it go from there? Like you write a story about it, and where would it go from there? Active imagination is pretty natural to me, and anybody that does creative stuff for a living. Like I
live most of my life in my imagination. It's great.
I write songs and things like that. So it's pretty easy to do. I like creating. Creating's great. So anyhow, that's sort of what it does. And then
what do you get from it?
You expand your perception. You expand your psychic horizon. You can, right?
Meaning?
Well, we can go through life pretty narrow. It's like, oh, I got this bill to pay, and oh, so-and-so's mad at me, and oh, what am I going to do today? And I should get in shape, and I got to eat, all that stuff. And then there's so much you're missing. And you want to be open to the mystery that is this existence, because it is that. It's a mystery. And it's quite cool if you just don't inhabit your quote-unquote ego too much.
Right. And what did you find in your shadow?
a lot of fear.
Fear. What was the source of that fear? Do you remember?
Like a lot of imposter syndrome stuff.
Still.
Not now. I don't care now.
Well, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure you can get me if you want, but you won't be able to.
Yeah,
But
it's a standoff.
some can, or you can get lost in yourself and catch yourself.
Do you believe that fear is an absolute illusion?
Of course.
So, how would the fear show up with you? Avoidance?
I suppose. You mean how would I deal with fear?
How would it manifest? Like,
well, I don't know how it manifests, but you're talking about how to deal with it. So I could do avoidance to deal with it. I'm not really sure what you mean.
Well, okay, I want to know like what brought on the fear? What certain events would make you like freeze and then you would find out that's fear?
I see.
We just did this fear exercise not too long ago. So you obviously brought some fears to
so,
it.
Let's say I feel something and it's like, oh, I got cancer. And then, you go down the Google rabbit hole and you think you maybe have something. So the little fear happens there. My fear starts way back. Feeling abandoned as a child, even though I don't think I ever was. I don't have a lot of childhood memories before 6, weirdly. But I remember this very specific nightmare that I was calling for my mom, right?
Was this a nightmare or was this real?
This is a nightmare.
Okay.
I was calling for and which I often did. I'd be so scared there'd be something under my bed. Typical stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So weird when you see movies like there's something under my bed. That's my fear. How's that on TV?
Yeah.
How did they know that?
Yeah.
And but in this dream, it's one of those dreams within a dream, which was really still very vivid.
Yeah.
So it was my mom coming to my bed as I'm screaming, wanting, mom, 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 mom. Goes in my bed in a house coat, and her face is a skeleton face. Terrified me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So what did it mean?
I don't know.
No?
Yeah.
That you think that represented like maybe an emotional abandonment because you were the last of 4 and like an accident technically? I guess everyone was an accident back then, but like
I'm looking at one.
Okay. But
happy accident.
Yeah. They don't make accidental kids anymore. Isn't that weird?
Who are they that make kids?
The marrieds, the ones having kids. like it's like everything's like IVF, like planned genetic test, like you know what I mean? Like there's it's like Gattaca. It's like Gattaca times.
Yeah. The more you plan and the more you prepare and the more you plan and the more you stage, that you just miss so much.
Yeah. Well, we live in an era where everyone is over preparing, to do anything. Like I'll start this company after I do this, or I'll start the family after I do this. I'll do blah, blah, blah. You're never going to be ready for any of that, right? Like you were a kid when you had your kids. That doesn't happen anymore.
5 or 6 or 7. Actually, I can't remember. No, 27.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, when we got married, we eloped.
Yeah. Mom proposed to you.
I'm not sure.
I think is
that what she says?
She said, "You won't get in trouble."
Just doesn't matter.
She said one day after how long were you guys together at that point?
6 months.
6 months. That's fucking crazy. Congratulations. Like that's wild. Like
I know.
Like that's actually insane. But she said, I think we should get married, and you're like, okay.
I think it was there's different terminologies like let's make this commitment more permanent.
You think she said, let's make this commitment more permanent?
Well, that's what I think I heard, but I don't remember.
No, she didn't script it out.
We thought we would be married. Let's be married for a few years and then think about kids, that kind of thing. Like it wasn't really, like today people seem to really, that's a plan
It's a plan because we're doing everything later. That's why.
And then all of a sudden, I was in Los Angeles and I got a call that she was pretty. She told your grandmother Marge.
Yeah, but big mistake. I think
her first reaction was, "Oh no, what are you gonna do?" She called me in LA, and this is before cell phones and stuff. And I was just like, I wasn't sure.
Whoa, really?
What she wanted to do. I was all good with everything, but I thought it was. My instinct was that it was great. Now, had I known it was you, I would have felt even better.
Good answer. Good.
Yeah. Hey, you don't know what you're doing. You know?
Yeah.
But when do you?
Yeah.
You think you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's the mistake right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when I was born, you thought that I was a boy?
Yeah. So
Explain.
your mother had an interesting kind of intense labor, I guess it would be.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor was there and she was great. Dr. Ellen Wiebe.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all in the delivery room and I guess you weren't coming out as quickly or as properly or whatever. And she was bleeding a little bit. And then I remember the doctor going to me, well, if she doesn't come out soon or the baby doesn't come out soon, we might have to go in and do a C-section or something like that. And I went up to Janine and I said, listen, I whispered in her, this is how it is. It's all good, but just so you know, right? And the next thing you know, it's all like chaos. And the baby, you pop out or whatever. And I'm with Janine. I got her locked. I'm locked in her face and the doctor and the nurse are dealing with you coming out. And so it's through, or you're through, it's through.
Yeah, it. Once again, this explains so much. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Anyway, she's through, you're through. And the umbilical cord is kind of wrapped, it's folded and wrapped a little bit all over the place. And so the first thing Janine says, your mom says is, what is it? And I look over and I said, it's a boy. And the doctor says, nope, it's a girl.
And then she was probably like, I'm not giving this baby to this man.
Yeah. No, she's seen it all before. Anyway, and then, that was the umbilical cord.
Yeah.
Because, but if it was a boy, man, they had some stuff there, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I cut it.
Well, thanks for giving me an innie belly button. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I don't know if I had that choice, but I don't know
how it works, really. What would you have done with a boy or boys? Do you think what would you have been like as a boy, Dad? Can you even think about that?
No. No, I don't. I don't know. It's pretty easy with girls for me.
Really? You think it was easy to parent Candle and I?
Yeah.
Tell me about that experience.
Well, it was easy to be pals with you and, there's no, I don't know. I didn't feel any pressure or stress or anything like that. I mean, you had tough times as teenagers, obviously. And I think in your case, which was not uncommon as far as I know, that the mother becomes public enemy number one, right? It's a rite of passage.
Well, you were just so fun too.
So, if I had boys, maybe they'd want to prove something that, I remember my oldest brother saying, having arguments and almost fights with my dad. And he'd call him, oh man, I'll make more money than you, blah, 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 that kind of thing.
Like chest puffing.
Or when I was a teenager, my friend across the way did fist fight with his dad. And I was like, that's weird. I don't know.
I hit you sometimes though.
Yeah, that's not necessary.
We'll take that out.
It's your sign of affection.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you get it. Thanks for understanding.
Anybody that gets offended by Coral's behavior, whatever camera's on here, it's a sign of affection.
Just like how we roast each other.
Yes.
You and Candle are able to roast me so well. And this is what people don't understand. Like, I'll do it to them and they're like, they'll think it was like a little bit much. And I'm like,
it is.
But in our family, it's like, they're endearing bids for connection.
Yes.
We're really like, I don't ever get offended by it. I'm actually like, that was good. Good work. We both.
Sometimes.
Sometimes
you don't even notice it, which is even better.
Lots of people don't notice.
And then sometimes you're like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't remember the last time
We're all like that.
But I think that's like probably my favorite thing that you taught me is just humor being a good metabolizer. Like, it's like, Mom was so hypervigilant and like serious and judgmental, and you were super laissez-faire and like whatever, which was annoying at times. But also like, I just could tell you things and feel like I wasn't being judged, and then like it would bring levity to things that other people would make big deals out of. Like, I was like, oh, this actually is just part of the human experience, and like bringing humor to things. Like, if it's not fun, it's funny. Our favorite line, right?
Yes. From Courtney Taylor, I think, is the one who said that first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, it takes energy, to care sometimes. It's just like,
that's grim.
do I want to? I know, right? I mean, I care about you and stuff like that, but this whole parenting thing and, discipline and how do you know, right? And of course, every parent says they're never going to take their child to McDonald's, and it's not too long before you're going to McDonald's or whatever, right?
Yeah. Well, also like just nature versus nurture in general, like clearly, like look at Kendall and I, look at your siblings, like who else were you, like, other friends, Hannah and her sibling, like everyone is so different. So it's like, what is within your control? And you guys, I'm going to blow smoke up your ass because we get a lot of compliments on, on how we're such a close family, even though there has been periods of times where I wouldn't see you or come home for like a year and a half, 2 years, I think up to even close to 3 during COVID. But I never felt like a disconnection. Like, and that's different than a lot of families who will, in opposition, spend a lot of physical time together, but like they don't see each other. Like, why do you think we're so different and weird in that
Honestly,
way?
I don't know. And I know what you're referring to because I've been, like I think I told you before when we were on the road and we got invited in the States to a family's, fan and friend of the band's Thanksgiving dinner. And they wanted to all sit around the TV and watch the football game. And the commercials would come on and they'd be even louder than the broadcast of the football game. And then Brad sort of said, Can we mute that? And they all looked and laughed like, why do you want to mute the commercials? That's so weird. It was just, and because they didn't know how to talk to each other. They didn't like the awkward silence, even within a family and us as guests or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, all I know is what I naturally know. Does that make any sense?
Not really. No.
Yeah. So, there's the Tao thing is like water. It takes the path of least resistance, yet it's the most powerful thing.
So you're saying you're like water?
Yeah. I mean, why make it hard when it doesn't have to be?
You are a Taurus.
And I heard when I was studying my Zen thing, I was into the Zen thing and did some Zen retreats and all that sort of stuff.
That was like what, like 20 years ago-ish?
When I wrote This Is Here, This Is Now around that time. But I think Gimpo or somebody, he was quoting some Zen thing on how to parent. And I've always liked this line, and it's like, you put them in a meadow and watch. I try to tell your mom that a lot of the time.
Yeah, one parent listen.
So you just let them go figure things out themselves. Now, if they fall down or if they get into trouble, you go back out, walk yourself out into the meadow. You pick them up, set them there, and then you go back and you just watch. And then they figure it out. Right? However they figure out. Because the way everybody interacts with nature and their environment and the world and their perception of things and their emotion of things is very unique to them. Yeah. And the mistake is parents, Carl Jung said, we all carry the unlived life of our parents, right? Yeah. Baggage. And whose parents, I've got my parents' baggage who clearly have their parents' baggage, who both of their parents were really, messed up in their own ways. So don't do that.
What was your parents' baggage?
You mean my grandparents' baggage?
As in my great-grandparents.
Yeah. So I don't know them very well. I know that you mean my grandfather, right?
Yeah.
So my grandfather, his name was Oliver Gordon, and he was a snarky old bastard. He was very mean to my Uncle Neil.
Who was gay.
I believe he was. Who basically got into medical school, but was so, I don't know, distraught from the abuse from his father that he quit and moved to New York and became a construction worker. Helped build the World Trade Center. He was on, which is no longer there. Yeah. And lived in Brooklyn for his whole life after that, from 1950s.
Sheepshead Bay is not Brooklyn. I just want to reiterate that again. Sheepshead Bay is... No. That's I live in New York. That's not.
I live in New York.
Yeah.
Oh, here.
What?
There you go.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
You dropped a name.
Gonna continue to.
I met Keith Richards. Ron Wood took me out.
Oh my God, we're going straight into that.
Names.
Oh, okay. You
want to do a name off?
This is what you do. Like, it's like you'll use the layup and like make it seem like it's someone, but it's just your way of getting your narrative across, which is smart. which is smart. It's a great skill. I think I have some of that myself. But yeah, I remember that was probably your favorite time aside, or maybe like opening for the Stones and then Coral being born. Probably.
Going to Moscow during the Soviet Union. We were there for the last May Day parade when it was the Soviet Union. That was a wild week as well.
Why was that a wild week? Like what was?
So we were part of this glasnost perestroika thing where they were allowing the West to come in a little bit. It was still communist, the Iron Curtain, the Berlin Wall, the whole bit. So we were there for a week, and that was a very, very long week. And, we were in this big Russian hotel, Stalin-esque hotel, and all these kids would be standing outside the hotel wanting to hang out with us and try their English out on us and follow us around. And first night we got there, Matt and I decided to go for a walk to find Red Square, right? We got there in the middle of the night. I mean, this is when you flew over there, you flew to Germany and still had smoking sections. So everybody's smoking on the plane. It's quite wild.
Wow.
I know.
Smoking on planes.
Yeah. And it was all military people, so everybody's drunk and partying. Anyway, we get to Moscow, and Matt and I are still wired from the long day, and so let's go find Red Square. So we just go walking out in the middle of Moscow, which is so weird. And we ask, nobody seems to know. And then there's this military guard there, and we go, "Excuse me," and he's just looking at us. He's got the rifle and the hat.
Yeah.
Where Red Square is, and square, red, point to his lapel, and he goes, "Oh, Kremlin, yeah." Right. So he points us, and we start heading that way. We still can't find it. It's 3 a.m. or something like that. And there's these giant main roads in Moscow that are like 5 lanes, but they run through downtown, 5 lanes each way. And we cross the way, we see this young guy with a flat of what look like milk bottles, but there's brown liquid in them.
Okay.
And he's holding his hand out as cars go by, and then they stop and they talk, and then the car continues on. And I go, I wonder what he's up to. So we decide to go up to him, and then he recognizes us because they're playing all our videos in Moscow. And he's a teacher, young teacher. He's like 25 or something. He's our age. We were like 25, 26. And he goes, "Oh, come to my place." And it was a flat of beer that he got from a bootlegger. Yeah. Like quart bottles of beer. So we went to his place, and it was in one of those little elevators that only fits 2 people, and you go up. It was very communist. It's pretty fun. And he's
that was one of your top moments, is this? You're like opening for the Stones, you being born, and Moscow.
Well, it was a week long. I mean, by the end, I had nothing of my own. I traded all my clothes. Everything. They all wanted jeans and everything.
What else happened during this week? So you may have heard me mention that I'm a certified sexologist and intimacy coach for men. And look, if you've made it this far into the episode, you already know that you're not like most guys, most likely. You've done the work, you've built the life, but when it comes to intimacy, something just probably isn't clicking. You're either holding back parts of yourself or you're living a bit of a double life. And that gap is exactly what I help you see. So I built something called the Wheel of Truth. It's a simple but super confronting exercise that shows you exactly where you are out of alignment in your sex life, your relationships, and the parts of yourself that you've kept hidden. So if you're actually ready to look at that, go to coralosborne.com/pod for the free download. You can also access it in the show notes.
So on that night, we're getting drunk with this guy, and he goes, "Oh, you want Russian girls?" And we're like, "No." And I had, you were born by then.
You have to tell me that. You
have to tell me that. I had a picture of you. Next thing you know, there's a knock on the door. Like Matt and I are pretty drunk, and these 2 women come in, and one is definitely like a weightlifter. Like she could squeeze us both with her fingers in half. I can't even remember what the other one looked like. And so they start drinking with us, and then I immediately pull out the baby pictures, which is a great defense. There was a bit of fear there. Like,
you're scared of women. You're scared of women. This explains again so much.
Yeah. Anyway. But they're very, they just, you can make them melt like that.
It's like the crucifix with your baby photo of me.
Yeah, exactly. So then we got so drunk, the guy threw us there was no cab. So you just basically offered cigarettes or whatever for somebody to take you somewhere. And so he threw us in a car, and Matt and I are in the back of the car. Couldn't even feel my fingers. And then
Because you were so wasted?
Yeah. And then we got about a minute in, and all these cars come and surround us. And it's the KGB or the Russian police.
Oh my God.
And it's like, what the? And Matt and I, what's going on? What's going on? And all of a sudden they became our escort because they knew we were Canadian on a special diplomatic blah, 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 blah. So from that, the whole thing was paved for us. We went to underground clubs. There's people in lineups for borscht, right? For food, like
That's
just basic
crazy.
soup. We would go to these clubs, underground clubs. It'd be caviar, champagne, like a whole table, long table of just about every kind of food you could imagine, and all the booze and all these people there. And it's like you could tell the black market underground economy was already forming in 1989. You know?
Yeah.
It was really wild.
Yeah.
And then at the end, these guys from the state of Georgia, which is part of the Russian or the Soviet Union, offered us diamonds to stay and go out there and play.
What do you mean?
Like diamonds.
Like to play?
Alan and I.
To stay and play?
Yeah, to stay another week. And like, we don't know those are diamonds. They could be glass for all we know. We were like, no, we're going home.
How much were the diamonds worth?
I don't know. What are diamonds worth? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing. You never instilled a monetary meaning into my life. I had to learn that. I found that one on my own.
So money is fiction.
Yeah.
Money
you
is
say this until you're bitching about the cost of dinner like last night. But then you're like, oh, you're so expensive. Dinner's so expensive.
Yeah, like sports too. It's,
But then you're like, I don't believe in money. It's not real. I think this is all a wounding around money, which has origins of relational wounds. What was the thing I asked you the other week? It was like
origins around relational wounds.
Well, there's parallels between your relationship with your parents and your relationship with money.
Sure.
Yeah.
But so what?
Same with there's parallels between sex and relationship with money. It's like
also,
where you're comfortable asking for what you want there, then you're comfortable asking for a raise, you're comfortable asking for more. It's like this abundance thing, mindset.
Yeah.
Or else you're like diluting that, right?
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
We're all human. So what? This is the thing. I listen to all your podcasts. It's fine, right? Or whatever. I don't really want to listen to it too much.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to listen to a podcast on crochet. Just okay. But I noticed that you tend to, maybe it's your generation, I don't know, and even some of the guests you have, and maybe that's just where they're from and that's their field, right? I suppose if we were interviewing about making records and producing music, I could have these definitive opinions. But I found that being an observer, an outsider from that world that you kind of talk about, is that you're all quick to define.
Yeah, we do like to define and pathologize.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's always other elements. I always find that you got to take any situation, including yourself, and flip it. In other words, if you think it's like this, well, what is the opposite of that, the shadow of that, the other side of the coin? Right?
Give me an example. For me, try me. Use me as what I should do.
Well, you're strong and powerful, but you also want to be vulnerable and, seen and loved and held and all those things, right? How do you manage both? You can't, or can you?
That's what I'm constantly struggling with, I think.
Or you were talking about earlier about when you find a person you want to be with, say a partner, you want to go all in. And I asked you to define what does all in mean? Because all in actually means out, right?
What do you mean all in means out?
You deal yourself out to become a new thing.
New third thing. You mean like a separate?
Potentially, yes.
Right.
Yeah, and you're going to miss your old self.
What is it? It's like the attachment versus individuation, and it spooks me because I have this thing too where I'm like, I like myself more than anyone, than any man could. You know what I mean? I think that's a weird thing too. I'm like,
I don't know about that. A lot of people like you.
I have the standards are so high. I'm like, I see myself because I am myself. And I'm like, if someone doesn't see all these parts, then no, thank you. And then I'm like, well, I'm doing them a disservice by not even telling them what that means or giving them an opportunity to know me or learn me. And doing the same, I realize how much of a narcissist I've been in previous relationships, which has been a long time, where it was always about me, even under the guise of oh, this is happening to me and they're doing this to me. When I was in toxic relationships in my 20s, And I'm like, I never thought about their experience. I never was thinking like, oh, so-and-so is building his company right now, or just his parents just got divorced. Like what? And it's like so embarrassing for me to state that now, and honestly, take it or leave it. But I learned that in sex work, like getting behind the curtain of like, oh, this is what's actually happening in the interior world of a man. And that like taught me empathy
Well,
in some ways.
a man, woman, I guess there's a lot of differences,
There's a lot of differences, yeah.
but they're coming at it with their baggage and perspectives too, right? Like, I don't know, somebody, let's say they want, it's their business or whatever, but they need other work in other parts of their lives too.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're saying it's like they're not paying enough attention to you because they've got other worries. That sounds very 50s housewife to me. It's like, oh, the poor guy, I've just got to make him his drink because he's got other things on his mind. It's like, really? That's what you just said?
It's not so much pay attention. It's like, I think it's the expecting to be, probably the romanticization of like wanting to be seen or expecting to be seen right away. And I think that probably has to do with like how close our family is. The weird side of that is like, you know, this is weird backhanded compliment, but I always say, I'll never meet a guy as cool as my dad or a guy that my dad thinks
That's stupid, by the way.
Is
very
cool.
stupid.
It's cool. And I don't say that anymore. I did say that. That was like a me 5 years ago thing.
Yeah.
But it was like, you know, there's a lot of things wrong with my dad too. And then it's like, but the expectation.
You're just used to it.
The expectation of like, you guys don't understand, you know, like you don't get it. And like, you don't understand my jokes, and having this kind of main character energy, which I think that you deal with too and Candle does too. And we all do, probably more magnified than some other people. And that maybe is the artist within, right? Maybe it's some of that.
If someone doesn't get your jokes, they're the wrong person.
Thank you. Mom doesn't get your jokes.
Yeah, some of them. Some of them. She's probably watching this. God.
No, I don't think she does watch it. No.
You never know.
You never know. You never know. Yeah, it's like I tried dating this Italian guy a couple months ago. Hopefully he's not watching this, but he wouldn't understand anyway. And he is like straight off the boat Italian, like not second generation. And really sweet guy, but I'm just like, I can't, after a couple dates, I was like, this person will never understand me. But then I was like, maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we don't, you know. And there's the whole, what is it? 82% of communication is nonverbal.
Mm-hmm.
My friend was like, no, that's not us. He was like, we communicate verbally. Like, that's everyone else. And I'm like, yeah, I think I need to focus less on the verbal part, says the woman who has a podcast right now.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. That's hard. I find I'm really good talking about, I'm really good at saying things without feeling them. So that's not being good at much. Like I can decipher emotions and talk about these things and philosophize about them. But then like feeling them real time is so different, and I tend to freeze in those moments.
I like that idea of having, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe your mom and I should do that, where we have just a bonding session where there's no words.
Yeah.
Because words are just symbols or representations. They're thoughts converted to something else. So there's already twice removed from the reality of what's happening or the feeling, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah, that's been honestly, a big part of my work is like I've come a long way, and I don't fill in the silences in settings now, you know?
Yeah.
And just like, okay, let's see what someone else does with that too, and in what other ways we're connecting with the stillness.
It creates a more openness, which I kind of like.
Yeah, and I bring that into
Let's do that for 30 seconds right now.
You actually want to?
See, sir, you're talking.
I said I don't do that on... Or is that your way of telling me to shush right now?
No.
I have a shush wound.
Do you? Oh, yes.
You.
Yeah, I shushed you the other day.
I know.
Mostly on me. I didn't feel good about that.
But do you know where the origin of that shush wound? Did I tell you about it?
No, tell me your shush wound.
Well, I was such a terrified child. You know, I was like a super self-conscious, shy in public settings.
Right.
So And I lived in fear of my own shadow, literally, figuratively, whatever. And then so as soon as I like rebelled from that because I couldn't exist that way anymore. I'm being bullied and whatever. But, you know, a lot of kids go through this shit. It's not unique.
Well, you're unique. You couldn't read a room very well. Still have difficulty from time to time.
Why do you say this? What do I?
Now you're good. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Can you tell me what that meant? Why I couldn't read a room very well? Give me an example.
I wish I should have brought a list of examples.
You have a list of examples?
I don't know. Maybe you just say something, or you be really brash and loud, and that's not what the setting. You know, that's not the vibe that we're in, kind of thing, dude. You know,
chill. I had no chill, is what you're saying.
Sometimes you did, or you didn't understand things, so you'd be all confused about how to deal with it.
Not understanding things is hard for me. That's why I'm always trying to like ascribe meaning and pull frameworks and.
Yeah, just realize that it could be wrong and could be the opposite, and unknown is okay too. You know this already.
Yeah, well, as we've been talking about a ton lately, it's like now it's holding the tension of the unknown, holding the silences. What you're even ascribing a meaning to that. You're even trying to theorize. Is that what you're doing?
I mean, you can hold tension, or you don't have to. I mean, do you?
Okay, Yoda.
I don't know.
He's like he's trying to be all. You're trying to be all zen.
I'm not trying anything.
Okay, do not try. Do not try. Try. It's like what is it in Forgetting Sarah Marshall when he's teaching him how to surf and he's like, stand up, do less. Stand up, do like up, like that whole bit. Do nothing. Do nothing.
Well, as I have in one of my fabulous new songs on my new record called Porto by 5440. And there's a line that says, the cost is nothing, but nothing is hard.
I think nothing's extremely hard. You think
nothing is very hard.
Yeah. You mean doing nothing, or what do you mean by nothing?
Accepting nothing, doing nothing, being nothing. Very hard.
Oh, I can't be nothing. That's not an option for me.
Well, what if you do, it creates opportunity, it creates perspective, it creates a space.
What do you mean?
For
by not identifying with anything?
Yeah, it creates a space for something to happen, or something that you wouldn't predict.
Being nothing, then you're doing nothing, and you get fulfillment from doing things. I know that there's like
do nothing. Don't you get fulfillment there?
No.
An opportunity gets created in that space. You know, from metaphysics and quantum physics and woo woo is that we're mostly space. We're mostly nothing. Right? If you moved fast enough, that glass, you could put your hand through it if you were fast enough, because the space between the atoms or the molecules that is that glass is actually nothing. There's more nothing there. Same with you and your body and all that sort of stuff.
Did you smoke pot today?
Nope.
Okay.
But that's the truth, according to physicists and whatnot. I don't know how they know that, but they seem to know that. So in that space is what kind of reality is. And so you're already holding on to something that isn't real by defining your direction, your life, your ideas. And I love ideas.
Is that like an attachment thing, like attaching to things, to concepts, to people? Because it's weird, because I don't feel clearly I'm good at detaching from people and things. And so it's kind of like counterintuitive at the same time. But I guess what I attach to is my identity of being different, which is so stupid. It's like, it's so,
I don't know.
You know?
I don't think it's bad either way. That's all. I mean, you can attach, not attach, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I think.
Do you have regrets?
Regrets? I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I think I wasted a lot of time.
By what? By doing what?
By being freaked out or stressed out about things, small things, and relationship stuff, all kinds of stuff that I just wasted a lot of time in my head with. Right. So now that I'm 65, I think I'm 65. Not that that really matters. I just don't care in a good way as much. And I guess that's through experience, right? Just. Yeah. And then maybe that, I mean, getting back to earlier when you were asking why I wanted to do the DMT, I just decided, I don't know. I mean, I have sort of done everything. I'm like, had a good life.
Well, you're acting like are you going to tell me you're dying right now?
No, I'm not dying, but the ego death didn't happen.
Yeah, it's still here, winning.
It's like, nope.
We love Charlie Sheen in this household.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, we do.
You and I do.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other two.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Why do we, let's actually talk about that for a second, which brings me to your latest book. So what was it? I think it started like over 10 years ago. And you were like, I'm writing a book. I'm like, oh yeah, what's the book? And you said, it's called It's Okay to Be a Hypocrite. And I said, how far along are you? And you said, well, I'm never going to write it. So this has been going on for about a decade.
Well, I could write it.
Because I think it's a great book.
Yes, it's okay to be a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we started hashing it out at breakfast this morning because he's like, well, I can't write it, Coral. That's the whole point. And then, so we're like trying to figure out a way like how we can get a ghostwriter and not do it, which therein proves the point that it is in fact okay to be a hypocrite.
Yes.
Like, would you say Alan Watts was a hypocrite? And like Timothy O'Leary, Leary. Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know.
Like their teachings contradicted the way that they lived their lives, but they didn't deny that
I could
part.
argue that Alan Watts was not a hypocrite at all, right?
Because he owned that part, right?
Yeah.
It comes with the ownership, like with Charlie Sheen owning his shadow shit, or Hugh Grant, as we were talking about, Tiger Woods not.
Yeah.
So, hypocrisy. So hash out why it's okay and how we're doing ourselves a disservice in denying our own hypocrisy.
Well, I guess it's okay to be a hypocrite because that's the first, you got to accept that there's a discrepancy there. So for instance, if you're an environmentalist and you drive to a protest in in this gas or whatever, smoke coming out of the exhaust pipe of your gas guzzling very old vehicle because you can't afford a nice one or whatever, are you then a hypocrite? Yeah, but that's okay,
Yeah.
Like if you can actually make a difference and get your car banned, then great. But in the meantime, you might have to be a bit of a hypocrite about it. That's just one example.
Mm-hmm. How are you a hypocrite?
I don't know. I mean, I suppose, I don't know. I mean, I guess a lot of the songs I do, I preach, love and togetherness and all that, but I can also get upset or mad, that somebody, if they spit on stage or throw something at me, then I can. Yeah, the goodness just disappears.
Right. You can have a temper sometimes, for sure. Yeah.
Let it out, man.
Yeah.
That's okay too. There's that I think he's a Roman poet that said, "Nothing human is alien to me," which means we all have a little bit of all of everything. That every person, in fact, nothing is alien to you. It really shouldn't be. So you have a little bit of Hitler in you, and you have a little bit of Jesus in you, or whatever you want to say. It not in the sense that you're going to behave like either of those ideas, but when you see it, it shouldn't surprise you.
Why are we? Does that have to do with our shadow and not integrating our shadow, and there being no healthy ways for us to do that?
So even that is just a mechanism to deal with things, right?
Yeah, but it works.
It can.
It can.
Yeah, and it can also not.
Yeah.
Right. There's a thing called Zen stink. Have you heard of Zen stink? So as soon as you think you're enlightened and like, oh, I'm all this, is the first time you're going to get whacked over the head and knocked back down.
Yeah.
And the idea is to be an ordinary human being. Guess what? You already are. Like, what are you wasting time for? Well, maybe it's okay to waste time.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that like, I feel like the world's kind of split into like two, the way I see it. People that live like pretty much in complete denial, and those that are constantly like, how can all right, I got another thing I got to push up, and okay, I just learned this again, and like, and it's really interesting to see that.
Denial? What do you mean living in denial?
Like they're just so unaware of why they keep falling back into the same patterns, or just don't even care to do deeper work, don't ask questions.
Right.
So it either works for them well or it doesn't work for them, but they just don't push up against edges. Like I would say you and I are people that tend to push up against edges. And we're like, okay, that's uncomfortable. That's you. I don't even and now the uncomfortable isn't even uncomfortable for me. I mean, I guess it is, but I'm not afraid of things anymore. Like I'm like, I actually kind of like enjoy the discomfort of things. I'm like, that means I should probably do it. Like I should probably.
You're getting off on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because back to the DMT and the somatic experience I had with all this energy, that was fear to me. Fear was this weird energy that
unknown
that would inhabit my body. Be like, what is this feeling? And then fear sensation.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm looking for it. Come on, give me some more of that.
You want to go like well, I know you want more DMT.
You want more drugs? More drugs?
More drugs. Do some Eastman.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
well, I'm curious. What
I mean, ignorance is bliss too.
Yeah, I've never been.
I think it's all fine
in that state.
I guess there's that theory. John Lennon said it. I don't think he originated the quote, but whatever gets you through the night, it's all right, as long as you don't hurt anybody.
Mm.
That's a morality, and that's good too. But there's a lot of people that get through the night by hurting people or the day, and that's human, and so you can go to the other side of that coin and say, well, somebody got hurt, unless if it was physically hurt, okay, that's understandable. But let's say it was more psychological or more abusive. That's maybe for that person to deal with, or are they equipped enough to deal with it? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
riff on it a little bit more.
Well, you can say something that offends somebody, or that the next person that they are not offended by it, right?
Yeah, like roasting.
Yeah, like roasting.
Yeah.
Like a joke of this or that or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's all fair. You can get canceled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is it fair? Hardly.
Yeah.
But there it is. Right?
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like, for instance, we had a dog, remember Bowie?
I didn't like that dog.
Well, he
You cried, but that's the only time I've seen you cry.
Pee-wee more, the dog before.
Mom said you didn't cry with Pee-wee, and I was like, what are you talking about? She was convinced you didn't.
Well, everybody has their interpretations of the neighbors. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's what
Pee-wee,
happened.
I liked Pee-wee was amazing.
I did tell Pee-wee I would see him in the afterlife, which was a weird thing to say.
Well, you really emote with the dogs.
And
that's
he's like, I got to hold you to that. I was like, fuck me. I got to believe in the afterlife now.
You do, though, don't you?
I don't know.
You're pretty roo-roo.
Roo-roo.
Yeah.
Being Gwyneth. Roo-roo for men only.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
In fact, I don't have heard any ads on your podcast yet. A lot of these big podcasters, they go, by the way.
You're saying I'm not a big podcast. Okay. Well, how I do it is I actually record intros and my own ads like in a studio separately. I don't just, what do you think? I'm just going to like plug a product in the middle of a conversation?
Well, take a little break and plug the product.
No, that's not how it works. There's
plug
like editing.
Roo-roo for men only.
Yeah. What do you think roo-roo is? What is?
So roo-roo, you know how woo-woo, I guess it is like, in my generation would be somebody that's on Oprah or like Gwyneth selling this or
I love
that.
Gwyneth. Yeah.
I think she's all right too.
Mm-hmm.
Roo-roo is the men's version of that.
You're not even, so it's just like a brand. Like it's like, what would be the product line on Roo-roo?
Well,
DMT
first
pens?
of all, we don't brag about it and go on shows about it.
Okay, but you're here now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It could be anything from nose hair trimmers to deodorant to sports. Beer.
Okay, cool.
Beer.
Very, very masculine, Dad. Very masculine. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, men and women are different, aren't they?
Yeah, you've grown up, you've been around a lot of estrogen for a long time. Do you think that's like...
Estrogen or estrogen?
Estrogen.
I want some estrogen.
I said estrogen, you freak.
Anybody listening, it sounded like estrogen. Like
no,
bagel.
Get your mind out of the gutter. But do you think that...
What gutter?
Do you think that you've been emasculated in our household growing up?
From time to time.
Yeah. Yeah, you said that.
This has been a mission that you've been on for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, but you like to, I don't know what you call that with our dynamic, but you like to like knock me down too.
Yeah, it's fun.
To like I think it humbles us.
Does it?
It humbles us.
Toughens
Why
us
do
up.
we both like to provoke, do you think? We both do.
There's a certain humor in it.
It's funny.
It makes me laugh. Yes, it makes me laugh.
Uh-huh.
And if you can't laugh about it, They ain't worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's about it. That's the depth of that. Hmm.
Yeah. So everything's good with you, though, otherwise?
Well, I'm in New York now. What do you think of that chapter of my life? What are your judgments on it?
I don't think you'll stay there. You never know, though.
Really?
No.
Because of my patterning of not staying in a place yet?
Well, that's a big reason.
What else?
For sure. I don't know. I mean, I don't know New York. We were talking about this yesterday, and I was a little poo-poo on New York, right? Because New York is so expensive.
Yeah.
And so, I do that with Vancouver a lot. So I grew up, in Vancouver. I was 20 in 1980, and the scene in Vancouver, like where we are now, Yaletown, it was all warehouses.
Yeah.
And speakeasies, and there'd be photographers and art people that could rent a warehouse for, I don't know, $500 a month, less, right? And it would be huge. And they would have parties and painting places and bands come. We'd go play a lot of these places, right? And these were young people who'd left their folks or whatever, or come from maybe the smaller towns, right? But very arty and very into that, because that's what you're supposed to do. Maybe.
You're supposed to be into art.
Well, in your 20s, you're supposed to find ways to express yourself,
right.
or, diss the man, or, decide on the next direction. Art has a way of doing that, right? But then the problem with New York is that it's too expensive. You're not going to have a CBGBs. You're not going to have an underground culture that is vibrant in New York, right? It's like, it's too...
But there is more of a bond, like I was saying this yesterday too, just like surely a rite of passage by being there. Like it's like, oh, you're like, we're New York, it's like we're doing the thing. It's hard to be there.
I guess,
so therefore
I mean, granted, what you're saying and the way you're saying it's different than what I would have thought, right?
Yeah.
I mean, New York was a landing place for immigrants forever, right? Statue of Liberty and all that. So you'd have your little Italy and your Irish community and your Jewish communities and all these different communities, and they'd be vibrant, and they would learn how to navigate and self-sustain, and culture would come out of that, and then it'd integrate and become whatever. And even in the 70s and 80s, it was kind of a whole scene. I don't know.
But not that you've spent much time in New York.
No, but it was sort of the torch of where things were going, right? That's why Frank said, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. I'm not so sure that's the case anymore, but I don't know.
I'm
out of touch.
Pretty sure it is, given that I'm paying $4,000 a month for my cheap rent there.
Yeah, that's insane.
Which is insane. But where do you think that my life will go then? Take a crack at it.
Okay, that's a good question. Yeah. I always hoped that you would end up, quiet. But I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm not married with kids, but quiet? We're quiet?
Well, that you don't need to.
You talk shame me so much.
Yeah, sorry. You don't need to prove anything by not doing anything to prove.
So you think I should end up just quiet and not doing?
Knitting in a rocking chair and just watching the ocean.
I'm not that old, Dad.
No, you're not. Not yet. No.
Even though you like to. So what does that mean? Like, what would that, is that where you think would be good for me to end up, or where you think I will end up?
This is great. I mean, you're in it, and you're in it to win it, and you got your winning tattoo on your wrist and all that sort of stuff. And, you're very exciting to be around, and a lot of energy, and infectious and attractive, and all those great things, right? But there's a whole nother world. It's funny because, I live on the Gabriola Island, and there's parts of it that just bore the hell out of me. But there's also parts that if I just go for a walk in the forest, it's like, wow, there's so much information from that walk. The air, the trees, the nature, the birds, the leaves, the wind, just like, holy smokes, look at, listen, feel all of this, which you can't do if you're podcasting, for instance.
Yeah, but you know what? Because I'm single, and I have been for quite a while, I get a lot of time alone.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is like, show me someone sweeter than my solitude, whoever said that.
That's a great quote.
Yeah. And this is going to sound so off kilter to what one would assume, but like, I actually like people namely men. Like if I'm going to be with a man, I want to be quiet with him. I actually do. I actually do. I don't want to, I can go off on monologues all the time.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be a thing for me in a relationship or for me, because the reason I'm able to do these podcasts and public speaking and do all that is because like of how much time I have alone to recharge and like
fair enough.
Be in solitude and like be so okay with being alone, which is something you haven't done.
No, and that's something I do need to do.
Yeah.
Yes, this is my vulnerability. If there's any people who even know who I am, I haven't been alone ever.
Yeah.
More than a week.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Because when you weren't with mom, you were on the road with the band and just with the band all the time.
That's right. And before I met your mom, I was somebody else. And before that, I was at home with my folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then again.
So isn't that weird though? Like, I don't think you think about that enough that I am alone most of the time. It's just you witness me in social environments or with you, but like I'm alone
I think you're right.
lot.
Yeah, I'm going to take some of that back.
Reassess. I also like, one of my favorite things to do is distance trekking. I went out to Europe and I was alone a lot of the time. I enjoy that. So it's like, it's a contradiction though, because it confuses people. Like they don't understand that like, like I said in a dating, I don't want to talk. I don't want to order my own food.
Yeah, from my perspective, which is, I'm your father. Not that I'm fathering, but I'm your father. Yeah. Is that you take these breaks and you learn about yourself in order to come back with a new direction or quite often stronger. Like I say about you, when you fall, you land higher. I don't know how that happens, but you do it, right? Mm. But that's a path or can be looked at. And I'm asking myself if I'm looking at it correctly, is a path of ambition. And is ambition the right path? For you, it is now. Mm. It's probably correct.
Because I care about this stuff.
But it's not the end.
Yeah.
Or it's not complete. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, I love the unknown. I used to want to predict everything. And like, everywhere I've moved in the past, which is the part that you didn't understand, has been like, oh, I'm going to move here. And then I'm going to, this is what my life's going to look like. With New York, I don't have that. I'm kind of, and I don't think I'll be there forever because that sounds like hell, honestly. But right now, it's like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, you follow till you get to the unknown. That's a great idea. Mm-hmm. Like know until you don't know.
Yeah.
And then live there. That's what the drugs do.
That's what the drugs do.
Mm-hmm.
What is next in this next later part of life, according to James Hollis? What do you want for your next part of life?
So it's very spiritual, and I don't mean that in a roo-roo way. Could be though. Could be total roo-roo. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's based back to the walking in the woods, back to just, it's so funny because time gets so slow and beautiful, but it goes by so quick.
Oh, you warned me about time relativity when I was like, I think like in 10th grade or something. And I wanted to be a grown-up so bad. Like you probably remember that. I just wanted to be an adult so bad. I never got along with kids my own age.
Yeah, you were an adult at 14 pretty much.
Yeah. And you're like, just you wait. And my God, since I turned 30, I'm like, I just turned 37. What the hell is happening? And it's like,
you don't look it.
Shut the fuck up. Thank you. Thank you, South Korea. But that's why, sponsorship from South Korea would be nice. But that's why, I love fucking off to Europe for 5 weeks or doing these retreats or going on these, treks in the middle of nowhere. Like that's what layers my life and it extends time for me. Mm-hmm. Like, and I will stop at nothing to have those experiences.
Yeah.
Because it's that short.
But they're there anyway. The experiences, they're right in front of you all the time.
Yeah, but you want to
your energy, energy. We talked about it, and the DMT for you and me, especially, seemed like it was energy, right? Somatic, very somatic. Mm-hmm. So it's very present already. Mm-hmm. So you don't need to color it with events or things to do or interpretations. That's what I'm talking about. Even with words, like I love this idea of having a relationship. Period of no talking.
That's called Janine on that one.
Well, right now it's called watching TV together.
It's called watching football. Yeah.
That's not what I mean, though.
Janine, I would love to have a relationship with no talking. Like Coral and I talked about this thing on our podcast. We're going to try a new paradigm of relationship called relationship with no talking. Love that idea.
Now, that's funny.
Thank you.
I don't know if she'd find it funny.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'd love to run it by her. Absolutely love to run it by her.
Yeah.
It's not gonna pan out.
Anyway.
So it looks like walks on the beach in nature. What else does it look like?
What does it look like?
The rest of your life. What do you want from it?
I like more feeling, more getting to know.
More drugs?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You were great in the providing that setting and opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go chasing it. It's tempting.
Luckily, it's not readily available to you because
I'm sure if I willed it, it would come.
Yeah.
Just like anything, right? But then you got to ask yourself, does that resonate properly? Same with money. I seem to always have enough, but never too much, which would be nice to have.
Who wants too much? It sounds terrible.
I'm just interested in other things, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's saying something without saying much at all about the next part of life.
Yeah. So once you cure like 100 men, is that your goal? And then you're going to move
100.
on?
That's
200, 500?
I have to write a book, 2 books, and then, but what?
So chapter 14 on my book, It's Okay to Be a Hypocrite. Let me talk about my daughter as an example.
Oh, I'm a total hypocrite. It's weird for me to like work with men and, really see them. And you asked me yesterday, if I ever just got annoyed with my clients or was like, you're an idiot, figure it out. And I'm like, no, I don't. I have limitless understanding and patience and all of that. But then in the real world, in, relationship, I'm like, I don't want to be analyzing. I don't want to hold space. I'm kind of resentful of it. I'm kind of it makes me
resentful of what?
I don't want to give more than I do working with, you know what I mean? It's hard, and it's hard to gear shift. And I really would rather just shut off my brain and my voice in a relationship. All the things I love about me in my world, I kind of don't want to bring into a relationship at all. It's so weird.
So why, in your opinion, do people have or even want relationships? What is this need? Is it a biological thing? Is it fear of loneliness? I mean, ideally, if you're going to go on a path like, for instance, Zen or Buddhism or something like that, there is no relationship other than with you and the universe, right? In other words, you don't pair off. So why is that important to people, in your opinion?
I mean, I believe it varies. I think a lot of it is rooted in fear of being alone. And
so
then
that's unhealthy right from the get-go.
That's unhealthy, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But then there's the wanting to be seen, wanting to connect. I mean, and this is where I know my growth is now. It's like I've kind of maxed out, as we know, the whole being alone thing. And especially when those that cannot do teach in a lot of ways, right? The intimacy stuff, I have very good perspective because I had a behind the scenes kind of reference point for that. I understand how people operate and how what they want pulled out of them and what they're searching for. But then I kind of short circuit when it comes to myself. And so it's it is the fear of the unknown. I'm very cozy in my world over here. So it's I think we really just yearn for connection, and
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But connection can be easily misconstrued with codependence.
Well, easily. Yeah. It's easy. It's
and I really fear that because
you can have both at the same time.
Yeah.
Quite easily.
Yeah, and I fear that because I've in past relationships, serious relationships, which has been a while, I just lost myself, and I promised myself that would never happen again.
Right.
But I also know now, like I said, I've done the most work I can do on myself at this time. It's Coral, just live the thing.
But it still seems like there's a part of you that wants to have a relationship, and I'm just curious.
That's what I'm saying. There
why?
is.
Just to not be alone.
You're just trying to be devil's advocate.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying.
No, I think it.
Or maybe if it just if the universe wants it.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, good.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm, like I said, I'm very, very content in my life, which I was never. I was always anxious. I was always uncomfortable. I am very good with my life.
Good. Careful.
This fucking guy.
Zen stink right there. It's waiting.
I've had so much of that though. I've been, I haven't made it easy for myself, nor has it been easy for myself.
No,
so
yeah, sure.
I'm kind of hoping, I kind of think it's my turn for some like universal handouts, some karmic handouts.
You're doing okay.
Yeah.
Nice watch, by the way.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Have you seen my Rolex?
No, I think maybe I have. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's back at the house. But yeah, it's definitely fine. You know what my thing is? It's like I'm looking for times to shut up more. That's my work. That's my work.
Wow.
That's my work. That's a breakthrough. That's a breakthrough.
Can I get a copy of that line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
And then I'll have it blown up as a poster that you can have in your room. What was that? I'm looking for ways to shut up more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Well, that's two of us with the same goal for you.
But this is what I'll do.
I did say quiet.
I'm mad now that you said that, so that I'm just going to completely shut up and not talk, and then you're going to get all weird with me, and then it's going to, like when we did the Camino, and we were together for what, 20 days?
Roughly, yeah.
And
3 weeks.
I'm like, I'm talking all the time to people for work and shit. Like, I just want to be silent and be in nature. And all you wanted to do was fucking talk, FYI. And you would get really pissy when I just had my headphones in and I didn't want to talk to you. I was with you for 20 days straight. Like, and we shared a room.
Yeah, it's kind of rude though.
You were a baby about that. So it's like you say, oh, Coral, no, you should be quiet more. And then you're like, she's not talking to me. So it's kind of hypocritical.
No. Well, you're talking about me talking about you today versus us together on a trip that was 3 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm still me.
Yeah.
And you just didn't want to yap.
I know. And you walked too fast too.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to talk.
What's your hurry?
I didn't want to talk.
Is that what it was?
Let that one simmer.
That's not the way I looked at it.
Okay.
Yeah. You didn't want to show a lot. Right? You were still wrapped pretty tight. And you've definitely been wrapped tight a lot of your life.
I know. Do you think I'm not wrapped tight now?
Not as much. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think you're wrapped tight now.
Do you think I'm more like my father now? Learning to
I wouldn't know that.
Really?
I don't know.
Do you think I'm more like you or mom?
You're like both.
I feel like I'm an actual split.
Yeah, and so is your sister, weirdly. And I'm sure there's there's like cubic versions of splitting two people.
Yeah.
Elements.
Yeah.
So you have as your mom says, you can be too much just like she can. Too muchness.
Yeah, her too muchness thing, that was her.
And not enough suchness. And even like when you're at home sometimes and I hear you walk down the stairs and I think, it's you or it's
your mother.
It's her. Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah.
Or your voice.
Yeah.
For a half a second I go, is that my wife or that other person?
Yeah.
That's Coral.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Weird.
It is.
But then you and I, we have a lot of outlooks that are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Or interpretations that are the same. So outlooks and interpretations.
And not being victim. We're pretty non-judgmental people. We're pretty chill, open-minded, can take anything in and not be scared of it.
Yeah.
And lots of different people too.
Yep.
So there's that.
Yep. Yeah, that's interesting. You carrying stuff of your parents, but I think you've dealt with a lot of it so far.
Yeah, alone. But I think that's the only way to deal with it.
Yeah,
I did. I forgive you.
Great. Awesome. I don't care.
Every time I try to bring a childhood or a father wound, you just totally no, don't care. And I'm like, that's kind of the whole point. That's the fun.
Well, somebody said to me once,
but then I just doubled down on it.
Is like I was on a board meeting of whatever charity, whatever. Anyway, it was like somebody's going to have a problem with so and so, and then basically, if you got a problem with me, that's unfortunate for you because you're the one with the problem. I don't got that problem.
Yeah, I know, but you are my father.
Yeah,
but only biologically.
Not by choice.
Only biologically, as we know, because you're definitely not in the past life. But anyway,
past life, right? Future life.
Yeah.
See, if you believe in past life, that's great. But I'm working on the future life.
Okay, future life.
This is a past life for somebody.
Okay. As much as I'd love to talk to you for and give you your own platform,
I
which
know,
you clearly need to start something. I could tell there's a lot that wants to come out of you.
Is that right?
Yeah, you two talk a lot for someone that judges me talking a lot. Anyway, where can we find you?
I'm right here all the time.
Present.
If you want to get a hold of me, get a hold of Coral.
Oh my God.
She will vet you.
Oh my God. What about your Instagram that I don't follow because you're blocked? But I think I'm thinking about should I unblock you? Or is that going to be?
Well, first of all, since before the DMT, I have deleted my Facebook and Instagram, but I'll get them back.
No, you deleted the apps.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, you didn't delete your profile.
Well, yeah, I don't think you can.
On. Yeah, you can.
I don't know.
That's a lazy delete.
So there's nothing wrong with lazy, just so you know.
What is it?
We'll get to that another time.
Yeah, next episode.
Path of least resistance.
Yeah.
5440 Singer. Is that what it's called?
I think that's it. He's a funny guy. Funny guy.
Well, if you can go back into our trip, that was good.
Oh yeah, the live blog from the Camino.
If you really want to get to know Coral, you'll go to that.
Yeah, and see his too muchness. Then please go back to 2023.
Yeah, it's a good analysis of Coral.
Yeah,
probably helped her a lot more than all the money she spent. I'm thinking.
Jesus. Okay. Well, thanks.
And she's got my name right finally.
Thanks. That's a dad joke if I ever heard one. Christ
Almighty.
Thanks for coming on, Pops.
Yeah, my pleasure. The meters. I hope I don't get a ticket.
You're good. You're good. We're good.
Did I get an honorarium by any chance?
No, $330. Now, you still owe me from that thumb drive, by the way. Thank you for listening today. You can follow us on the Next Man Up _pod on Instagram or on YouTube at Next Man Up with Coral. Please feel free to slide into my DMs with any thoughts, feelings, or praise, and let me know who you think should be the next man up.